Last week, we finished the placements within our Unranked to GM series here on the channel. Shortly after, we hit Diamond, taking us only one game. This is a little disheartening because I wanted to show you guys specifically how I play in the metal ranks to win more games. While the review I am showing you today is in low diamond, there were various platinum players in the lobby, so the skills I used to win the game still apply and will apply for all ranks. I also wanted to highlight that I still made many mistakes in this game mechanically. I could have hit many more shots and connected more sleeps, but with my macro understanding of the game, it was possible for me to aid my team to victory. You don't have to be a titan to hit GM, but you do have to understand how each game functions and learn how to manipulate it to complement your strengths. With that all being said, if you guys want to watch the series live, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 PM EST over at twitch.tv/PazSwagger. Since it is the summer and I have been meeting a lot more people, we may even start streaming more and at different times. So if you really want to catch a stream but can't due to time constraints, let me know in the comments and I may consider changing up the schedule. And with that all out of the way, this was the game that you all picked out, and I'll see you in the next one. Today we have another VOD review. It's the second of the series. And this was in about low diamond high. I think it was 3150 actually was where it was about. But I wanted to do more of lower SR tier content and trying to show you guys some closer games. Because I feel like that's very beneficial for you guys to watch. It was kind of a bummer that we got put up in diamonds right after one placement match. So I wanted to kind of take the time to look at the very early on games so I can show you guys how I am thinking, how I am playing at these SR brackets. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. This one shouldn't take too long. It was a 15-minute game on Lijiang, but there's going to be a lot of downtime in between all the rounds. So let us get into it. So first thing I'm looking at here, I'm playing on it here. Can you guys see this? Cool, you can. Okay, so I'm playing on it here because I mean that's the whole point of the series. And I'm looking at this map. This map is Gardens on Lijiang. Very dive heavy, and I'm pretty much expecting a Pharah at this rank because Pharah is very strong on this map, even in Overwatch League. It's a very popular pick. So on Ana here, I'm kind of just assuming, well, they're going to have a pharmacy. I'm going to be looking to kind of pressure that out throughout the match. The problem is that that's going to be a little bit difficult because we are running Brawl on a very strong dive map. So because of this, we're going to have to play a lot differently, and we're going to have to rotate with our team to the left side of where our spawn is to get into point and kind of play for point. But my team doesn't really do that, so I kind of have to just go with whatever they want to do here. So the big thing that I'm actually going to be trying here, let me turn down the music a little bit because it's pretty loud. Turn it down a bit. Okay, that's better. All right, so because of that, let's look at nanos because that's kind of what I like to do after for every VOD when I'm playing Ana. It's very important to look at nanos and kind of think about what you want to be doing here because now you see that they're running a double bubble comp that's actually quite strong besides the May pick. The May pick is going to kind of cause some confusion for my team. So just straight off the bat, Nanoing Ryan is usually a very nice nano. I'm pretty sure we've already gone over this in our last VOD. But the problem is with Nanoing Orion into this comp right here is that you're not really going to run on anything but maybe the Ana and maybe the Zarya. But by that time, the whole enemy team has probably run away and either ran away or is in your backline and are killing me. So that's not necessarily the best nano ever. So because of this, a much stronger nano could be the Tracer to try to force out their backline, or maybe even the Diva to rival their Pharah here or their Mercy. The thing is with Ryan is that you have to chase them down with Lucio, and it's not going to get nearly as much value as literally anyone else in the team. You could nano and Ashe. I personally don't like to do it because I don't think it's super strong. I don't think it one-shots the head anymore since the nerf. But that's also an option if you're really looking for something here. So again, if you have any questions in chat, just let me know. But I do want to get right into this because I don't want the VOD to take too long. And yeah, let's get into it. So right off the bat, my team goes right here. I noticed that my team is very much engaged because my tanks have used their movement abilities. So my first instinct whenever you're playing this map is to make sure you're looking at the sky here to really make sure there's not a Pharah that's looking for boop. In this situation, there is, and I am ready for it. I see the Pharah, I immediately back off to make sure that I don't get booped off the map. Had I just not looked up at the sky here and gone across the bridge, I probably would have gotten booped off the map. And that's something that you have to be very aware of because it's not something that's extremely hard for the Pharah to do. It's just very, very unlucky because you're going to see a lot here. And this was kind of the problem. Our D.Va was just kind of with our Reinhardt and not actually focusing down this Pharah, which is making it a lot harder for our team to succeed on this map. But let's keep rolling the tape here. Now that I know that it's after the boop and I can hear her now using her rockets, and I don't see the rockets coming at me on the bridge, and I can't even see her, I know it's safe enough for me to rotate over to the dojo, which is what I start doing here. So let's keep rolling. Right here, I noticed that my team wants to go to point. While I'm a little bit out of position, the problem is that I had to be in order to dodge this Pharah. So this isn't necessarily as much on me as it is on my Reinhardt and D.Va for overextending. Luckily enough, they do push up to actually get me across. It was more faulty execution on their part. But what this Rein is wanting to do, which is the smart thing to do, is to immediately try and take the point and take the fight to there. The problem is that doing that from this side leaves a lot to be desired, especially when I'm pretty sure my Lucio is trying to 1v1 a Pharah. I think coming over on the white side and just coming into point this way is much safer, and is always the better way to go if you really want to force brawl on this map. Need to stop jumping. It's a lot harder when I'm not focusing on things in chat, or when I am focusing on things in chat. It's a big nade on the Pharah. I just kind of have to get away from that now. This is totally fine. We're just playing on the point. This is one of my earlier games on. Okay, looking to nade myself, get out of there, and just kind of live. The whole point of me in this comp is to, now that I see that my Ashe is popping off, I really need to support her the best that I can and make sure that everyone is stacking on points to the best of their abilities, because that is really what our comp thrives upon. As long as they are running into our Ryan is getting value. So we have to force them to do that, and we force them to do that on King of the Hill by forcing point. So it's really important that we're stacking and watching the same targets. I missed a sleep on there because of the boop. This is a very nice boop from their Pharah. And now we're just kind of chilling outside of point. I do get walled off. The problem with this here is I can't break it on my own, and if I wanted to try to take an angle here, if that wall was open, I still couldn't do that because Pharah was LOSing me off. The main thing that I did here was make sure that my team knew that I was not in LOS and I need help with the wall if I decided to do that. I saw the Pharah was low, couldn't hit the shot, need to hit more Kovacs, need to play the game more. 100%. Looking for the sleep there. Could have been big because she was over the edge, but we're just chilling here. We have the point now. Don't want to use nade on myself because I have a Lucio healing me on the side, which is fantastic. And we're just chilling. I have Nano here. It really depends. Now that you see they have switched to the Reinhardt, so nanoing my Rein isn't necessarily the worst thing ever, but I'm probably going to end up using this to just keep someone alive. We're very split right now, so I'm trying to tell my team, hey, to stack on point. They're coming left side. The D.Va is sleeping. Don't like that. We end up waking it, and she should still die. Big nade over onto the Pharah, so she can't play really aggressive while my D.Va's up there. That was just extremely unlucky that we woke up the D.Va, and now our D.Va overextended to try to get the kill. It's extremely unlucky on her part. It is what it is. I know that the Pharah has barrage, so I'm going to try to keep my sleep dart for that. But now that they have my ulted point, we just need someone to touch. Everyone gets out. Whatever. The fight is pretty much lost from this point. Pharah is going to barrage us, and it's just GG's go next. The moment that we let off... Here's the thing. There's not a whole lot you can do as Ana into this scenario. If the Rein is not going to understand that he needs to take the part of point that is not getting affected by mail, there's nothing you can really do. We then get forced out to the outside, and it's a lost cause with this Pharah and this guy without a D.Va up her butt. Let's keep it going, though. Let's bring it back a bit. Okay.
You're not getting rid of me that.
Pharah's still doing whatever she wants. I'm just trying to tell my team to get out or die. I see that the Rein is very, very much engaged, so I tell my team to immediately go and try to help the Rein. I end up having to use the nade on Rein because I can't really tell how low he is or how much pressure is actually coming through this doorway. It's better to be safe than sorry in this scenario. Probably didn't need the nade, but it was good to just be safe from the information I was given. It's a good sleep on the Mei. See if it actually pays off. He gets slept, but the Rhine's on the ground. Rhine should die here, but then a big nano comes out. I anti the Rhine. The problem here, again, is that we're just getting split. The D.Va is nowhere near our team, and the D.Va is not even looking at the Sphere at all, which is giving our Rhine and our entire team a lot more problems than we really should be having. So that is the main thing that we really have to be looking at here. We do get 2 picks, though, but it's not without a res. I missed the sleep because I'm bad. Need to do more aim training, and Farah was just absolutely crazy. Hitting those shots is fantastic. This was the point in the game where my team kind of started getting tilted, and you just have to kind of tell your D.Va, can you please just look at this Farah? And if they get mad about that, it's kind of a GG on this map. And you have to just go for the next fight. Right here, I know that the Farah is doing so much more than she really should be doing. I'm trying to tell my D.Va not to do anything about it. That's a huge sleep on the Tracer, but we don't immediately go on it. I'm pretty sure we still do kill her, which is very nice. That was a good sleep on my part, but the thing is, I'm not going to give myself too much of a pat on the back because I'm not playing well in this game at all. Moving forward, it was a great shatter. Should have thought about that before I looked to sleep the Farah, I think, or something out of the sky, which is a big mistake you really want to be looking out for. What happened to my Rhine? My Rhine backed up behind everyone. Oh, okay. That's also not the best thing that could have happened there, but you know, you got to play with what you got. I do want to let you guys know, watching this, that we still won this game. So here's the thing. You can still carry on Ana when you have people like this. And no hate on these people. Some of them just had a pretty bad game. But just understand that these games are still winnable, and if you want to continue watching, understand that this game was still won. This was not a lost game. And I'll go into why we actually won this in the later maps. So yeah, that was unlucky. Our Lucio beated. The aggression should have been there, but the Rhine backed up because he was antied. Again, probably could have been prevented if the D.Va had eaten the nade, but is also a macro mistake from the Reinhardt because we did not communicate that we were going to beat. A lot of this is macro mistakes more so than micro mistakes, which is what you're going to see. So we're just waiting for the Ana to come back, but we're still pushing. It's ultimately going to get my Rhine killed, and we're probably going to lose the fight because of it. That was just a bad nade. I should have waited a little bit longer for the D.Va to put down defense matrix. That's on me. The moment that I see my Kree looking for Hainoon, you just have to pocket him. Pretty sure that's self-explanatory. Nothing crazy in this play. I can't cross, though, because there's a D.Va and Farah blocking me from doing so. And at this point, it's just a lost map. Go next. Great kill on the Tracer right there. But it's not going to look much better from there. And we go on to the next map. So, big thing there, guys. Try not to waste sleep on Farahs. Even if the only time you really want to be sleeping at Farah is if she has barrage, or she's flying over a hole and you think that you can hit her. I was having a very much off game here. You can see. I still think trying to go for the sleep on the Farah is okay if she's over the hole. You just have to practice it more and be consistent with it. I'm out of practice. I think the idea is okay. But the moral of the story on this map was mostly gotta make sure that you're trying to tell your tanks to eat the D.Va or eat the Farah. Make sure that your Rhine, like, you gotta help your team, and if they're doing things that don't look right, you have to give them very good constructive criticism. Again, it's very hard to see my comms and how I'm telling these people to do that, because I think they still got offended, even though I was trying to say, hey, can we just eat the Farah rockets? It's literally all we need to do. It's not the hitscan's fault. Go next. It's okay. That still tilted people a little bit, and that'll happen. But if you want to see my comms there, I will be uploading them near the end of the series. I think I'm just going to have a big video that's just uncut, all of the games. It's going to be coming out by the end of the series. If you would rather me upload it video by video bit in the 2-hour segments, just let me know. I'll cut them up now and put them up on the weekends, but it really depends on whatever you guys want. With that out of the way, let's move on to the next map where things start to look up a little bit. So this is Control Center. Again, let's look at who we're going to be nanoing here. This is a map that you're definitely going to be seeing Brawl a lot. BAP is always the better pick, but the thing is, this is an Ana one-trick series, so we kind of want to see how Ana is played, because Ana's a fun character. If you're playing Brawl, Rhine is always very, very, very strong. But the thing is, we also have some other options here. I think a close second could be the Doomfist, and if both teams' Rhines are dead, both teams' Dooms are dead, I think Kree is a very strong, very strong nano to look for. The only problem is you have to make sure that the D.Va and the Rein are dead, and at that point, it's like, why don't you just nano your Rein? There are creative nanos within this composition, but you're mostly going to be wanting to look to nano the Rein so that you can kind of match the aggression of their nano, or just win the fight with speed boost nano Rein to backline if you can get that nano fast enough. But let's look at what happens. Man, my jumping problem is bad because I have not played Aim Arena in quite a bit. Probably because I'm calming as well and I'm not focusing on it. Again, should not be looking for flashy sleeps against the Pharah. That's like the big thing I'm seeing from myself right here. Just a little bit of cockiness and not an autopilot. Great hook from the Hog. Looks like my Rein might be struggling a little bit there, so I try to peek through the wall since I know it's a little bit open. But the fight is pretty much already won. We killed 2. I'm just looking to get some damage and alt charge here now. But with how aggressive my team is playing and how passive my Rein is playing, it's a little bit alarming. So playing a little bit aggressive here could be of use, but our team ultimately gets out alive. Positioning is very aggressive. I stayed there a little bit longer to wait for the D.Va DM to go down, and now I'm going to rotate back to the left. Looking for an aggressive nade there. The D.Va uses her boosters. I back off. Ana uses nade on herself, so I try to... Ana uses her nade on herself to splash on my tank, so I take the extra time that I have to nade her when she's out of position from the hook to try to take her out. I think she should die here. And she does. I support my Doomfist in doing so. I just did a VOD for someone actually on Fiverr where they were struggling with this. If you do watch this video and you do end up getting to this portion 6, that is an example of a good timed nade. Your nades are very aggressive, but that is an example of a well-timed nade because our Doomfist was right there to follow up upon it, and there was no heals from the Mercy that could help. Even though the Mercy was right there. Great sleep save for the Rein when he pinned to save my team. Always something you want to be looking out for. This is one of the reasons why you really shouldn't be focusing the Pharah with the sleep unless she has Barrage. Always try to hit a better target that's just going to get more consistent value unless you're consistently hitting those sleeps on the Pharah. But that comes to practice, which I am out of practice for. So right here, just looking for damage or healing my team. I'm whipping a bunch of shots. I need more practice. But the problem is that these results are attainable. By no means are they unattainable. Chilling on point here. Just looking for damage. I think their Pharah is going on the outside, so that I'm taking it upon myself to kind of look that way. Making sure that I'm not tunnel visioning the side and making sure that my front line is healthy. Rein is sleeping, just going to wait for the nano to go down, and now I can nano my Rein to be aggressive here, which is perfect. I just wait out the nano, so no damage resistance is going into my Reinhardt when he's pushing aggressively. Big shatter going in there, and my Rein's probably going to die here. No, he actually gets out alive. Good for him. Fight is not actually won yet, though. I look for the sleep on the Pharah. That is an opportunity where sleeping the Pharah is okay because of how close she is. It's not a yeet and sleep. It was actually reasonable to sleep that. I just missed again because, well, I'm bad. And she barrages because of it. I could have prevented the barrage before it even happens. I just need to have better aim there. Killing the Pharah, that's great. Taking it upon myself now to kill the Pharah as well because it's just 3 shots away. Not too difficult. Much easier than hitting a sleep dart for sure. And now we pretty much just won the fight. They're down 2. I'm just chilling. Fight should be a very easily won confrontation. Junk should die, but my team barely doesn't take advantage of this. My Rein dies because of a bomb. That was very, very disheartening. I'm looking for my Hog to hook here since I know that the cooldown is not online. He hooks the Rein. I immediately look to anti this hook. I need to keep my Doom alive. Try to sleep the Mercy. Again, just whiffing this game. Need to be getting better about that. But the idea is still there. It's okay if I'm trying to go for a sleep right there. From this point forward, I know that the fight is lost, but I'm trying to get a little bit of extra ult charge before we lose. And the Reaper is actually starting to look close. The fight's starting to look winnable. When the Reaper is that low and my Rein's right there, the D.Va does not have any boosters. That's a situation where I'm starting to think that maybe it's swingable if I do nano, so I'm going to go be aggressive with it. The problem is that they then traded back their nanos, so in all reality, I'm just forcing out more ultimates from them. Using good movement here in my Kree to try and stay alive a little bit longer. We do end up getting the D.Va out of mech. We should just keep her there, but we do kill for whatever reason, which kind of sucks. We should have kept her out of mech, but it is what it is. Now we're going to go into trying to retake with this team. Let's see how we go about this. Our team's very, very, very aggressive here. They don't like to wait. Very much should wait for your team to fully regroup before pushing a choke like this, especially on Brawl. Just chilling here, looking for a sleep or an anti onto their tanks. Because the D.Va is hard focusing the front line, I'm taking this upon myself to flank on the high ground since no one's looking there. Look for an aggressive nade on the back line. End up only hitting the Reaper, which is a little disheartening. And it's probably going to lose us the fight now since that happened. Reaper's now on me. I'm just backing off. It's still an even fight here, so we have to see how this kind of plays out. But McCree ultimately dies to Junkrat spam, and it's pretty much just a GG's from here on. Trying to kill that Ryan, but I just barely can't. And it's just time to get out from here on. Need a shield, but the Ryan does not do that. I remember calling for it. To be fair, the fight was already lost, so it's not like that would have made that much of a difference. Now let's move on to the next fight. Alright, we're looking for a nano onto the Ryan, but we also know that this Reaper has ults. Because that is the only ult that they have not used yet. So we have to be looking for this Reaper, we have to be checking corners, and we have to be looking for sleeps. Jumping needs to stop here. That'll come with aim training. Ryan dies, so it's pretty much already just a lost fight. I use the sleep to try to get aggressive. I'm just trying to find value while I can. This fight is very, very much lost. Instead of telling my team to go in and try to salvage the fight, we have time for one last fight. I tell my team to get out here. It's incredibly important that no one dies here so that we can take another fight. Ryan is already back, so we can take an aggressive push. Since that D.Va has used jets, I use the nano on the Ryan to make sure that she either has to bomb, bomb, or just die. She ends up using bomb. I take her around the wall. We're chilling here. Ryan is very aggressive. Great sleep that it's honestly game winning against this Reaper here. If I did not sleep this Reaper, we would have lost the fight because I would have died. So staying on your toes with that sleep, very important. Keeping on moving forward, keeping on moving forward. Ryan's very, very, very aggressive. It's okay though because we've already gotten a few picks. So now I'm just looking to keep up my team as much as possible and find an anti-nade mid-fight where it's going to really change the tide of the fight. Trying to keep my sleep though, since I do know that the Reaper is back with a Death Blossom. I tell my team that Reaper has Death Blossom and he is target number 1. He swiftly goes down with an anti-nade, and that is the end of that fight. Right there, Sleep Dart was very, very, very beneficial earlier in the fight. I needed to be wary of the Reaper flanking with not only ults, but also trying to pick me off. And ultimately, that sleep is going to win us the game because it won us this point. If I would have died to that Reaper, we would have lost the fight because of how long it took. So well done on my part. The big things that I'm doing wrong, jumping too much. While they are running a Junkrat Pharah throughout the game, and jumping is okay, I have to be reactive to their Reaper. Also, the only other thing I can really say is not sleeping Pharah and making sure I'm actually hitting my sleeps, staying in practice with that. A lot of my problems right now mechanically just need to practice.
Nothing to worry about.
So let's keep going.
Unless there's something to worry about. As Dr. Liao up the temple.
So, new map, new composition. This comp is quite odd. Still going to be looking to nano the Ryan if they are going to continue the brawl, but we also have to understand that nanoing the Echo is also a very strong opportunity, as well as the Sim. If she gets on level 3 microwave, she can meld a team like it's no one's business. But let's get into it. Alright, so we're looking to teleport on point. It's very common for teams to do this, so as Ana, I'm kind of waiting to see if they TP as well, so I can nade them upon their entrance. Because if you hit a 6-man anti and they just dropped on point, they're dead. 100%. So, I'm looking here, I look at, if you immediately look over here, right when I go through the, let's actually slow this down a little bit. Immediately, I'm setting myself up to... Here, let's do a 0.5. I'm immediately setting myself up to nade this little part right here so that I can splash them when they drop. I see that they don't do that. I immediately am looking down to set myself up for this diagonal or this diagonal to take the fight immediately. Very small thing that you're going to see a lot of higher level players do, but it's very hard to catch on. Alright, so we take point. We want to stay on point as much as possible. D.Va gets way too aggressive. We immediately take her out of mech. This is huge because now I can look for a nade. I looked for a nade on the ceiling here. I ended up missing it because our D.Va jumped. Unlucky, whatever. Go next. Keep fighting. My sim is very aggressive there. Barely dodged a fire strike. Calling for heals here. Trying to jump to mitigate splash damage because they have a very splash heavy composition. So jumping could maybe mitigate an extra 10 or 20 damage. If it would explode here, if my foot is this L here, it can maybe mitigate a little bit of damage to keep you alive just a little bit, but understand that you need to be reactive of what's going on.
You're going to be okay.
So because of that, our sim getting a little bit aggressive and our D.Va not looking at the Pharah, we end up actually losing that fight. It is to this point I tell NYC we need a Kree and D.Va, you need to just look at Pharah the rest of this game or we are going to lose. It comes to the point where I don't care. You kind of have to stop caring if they're going to get offended if you've done it nicely enough that you have to just extremely put it in an extreme way that the Pharah needs to die. We also have a Pharah as well, so she really shouldn't be doing anything. This is a huge pick considering the fact that Pharah has been the thorn in the, I don't know what the saying is. It's been definitely the most annoying thing to deal with this entire time. I know the D.Va's out of mech, so I know I can go for a quick little nade right there because she's on the side, and we end up winning the fight because of it. The aggression taken because the Pharah is dead was very good by my team. Well done.
I've seen it. You're going to live.
Again, playing reactive in these types of maps where you have to carry is extremely important. And jumping is not the end of the world if you are playing against junk Pharah, but when are you going to do that? So just get into the habit of crouching. Let's keep it going here, though. I'm not really sure how my team wants to play this at this rank. Usually, people would want to take this diagonal right here, this little choke, but Orion is like kind of going in and out between the two here, so I'm also doing the same thing. I'm not the one that's making the space. I have to play with what I have. I see the junk fly over, so I know that he's going to be coming behind. I see him come behind. I tell my team, I can't be the one that peeks that because if he hits just one nade on me, half of my health is gone. They rotate back, and now we're taking it on to point. Our Echo is on Rhine here, though, so this is a little bit of a miscommunication from my team. It's kind of right on both ends, but we end up messing up as a team, which is probably going to make us lose the fight. Unless my Echo just pops up. Because my Mercy is so far forward, I just end up nading myself because I really don't want to die to straight junk or Pharah spam. Probably could have gotten away with it, but better safe than sorry against this kind of comp. I should definitely have died there much sooner. That was a very well-placed boop from their Pharah. I was a little out of position as well, trying to help my Echo. But overall, unlucky. Great res from Mercy. Now that I'm back and the Rhine just shattered and he's already pinning, I know that they think that they've already won the fight, so I have to be looking for a nade that is going to say otherwise. I try to nano my Rhine to keep him alive, but it doesn't necessarily go down that way. And by the time I can look for a nano, or not a nano, a nade, the fight's already lost here. I think the right play was to look for a nade right here and just let my Rhine die. I ended up trying to keep him alive with nano. I think both calls are completely okay. I just went with the wrong option. And that happens sometimes. Yeah, right there. Just missing a lot of shots. That was really tilting on stream. I remember I was like, God dang, I'm missing all my shots. But that happens. You're not going to hit all your shots. But this should be a testament that you can carry without hitting all your shots. Alright, moving on to the next fight. Pharah is spamming over there. I kind of look out of the corner of my eye, but I'm like, she should not be there. My Reinhardt's really far up and engaging really heavily. Usually I would say, okay, dead fight. We lost our Rhine in a Rhine v Rhine mashup. The problem is that this Pharah has been like the biggest carry for their enemy team. Our team is struggling a lot to deal with that, so I call for us to be extremely aggressive off of this pick and not really care that the Rhine is dead. The sleep on the Pharah, or the Moira here is very good because it forces the team to kind of second guess how they want to play this. The Creeve still goes in there and actually forces out a kill onto the Rhine. I absolutely hate Junkrat. I don't really know how much I could have done better there, other than Junk's just a fun character. Smile. And it is what it is. My team ultimately picks up off of it. That was a fantastic nade, fantastic sleep. Great follow-up by my Kree as well with the bubble from my Zarya, which was very well done. The problem is, can we deal with Pharah? Our Echo is trying her hardest. So going on to the next fight here. We're closing in on the final few fights here. I'm looking to get my nano as fast as possible, so I'm trying to poke down main. It's a little bit too dangerous for me to do so, so I'm just going to play point, because that's the most important thing that we should be doing as a brawl anyways. I hear Pharah to the right, but I'm like, where is she? She poops me out a little bit. I rotate back in. I'm chilling. I don't need to use my nade because she's not in direct line of sight of me. Now I have to because she did hit another rocket on me. She's kind of engaged a little bit too hard for my liking. Echo still being aggressive with the Rhine. I don't really agree with how aggressive she's being for how far back we were. Help my Kree with the Pharah. Right there. Perfect example of damage is healing. Let's look back at this, because I think this is something that I'm going to show you guys later in the week. Let's slow this down a little bit. Kree is critical, right? But look how low the Pharah is. The problem with me is if I hit my heal dart on him, the problem is that direct would still finish it off because the direct would cut through the healing before the healing's effect actually does it, since the healing is not instant. It is like a poison effect, like the damage is. So instead of trying to heal this Kree, I decided, let's just try to kill this Pharah together. Thus, you should try to shoot the Pharah so that it doesn't actually kill your Kree, since you actually can't save your Kree, if that makes sense. And overall, let's keep playing this. The quick scope ultimately keeps my Kree alive. So that's one of those situations that you kind of just have to see and be like, damage is healing, bam, go for it. It's very hard, though, to see that when you aren't already looking for it. But let's keep rolling the tape. That pick alone is going to be fundamental to our success with this fight. Immediately see that there is no more D.Va, and now he is on Hog. I can look for a splash on both of them. Just a green light. And now it's just a GG's. We have 3 picks. Someone is on point. It is a Junkrat. I don't want to do it alone. I'm trying to mitigate the damage by sliding on that roof there, since I know the Junk is still looking at me, since he did shoot another nade on the left side doorway. So I'm just trying to mitigate damage and let my Kree do the work. He ends up doing the work. I naded myself when I really didn't have to. That was a bad nade. But they don't even touch point, and we win the game. I know that first map, guys, looked like I was nowhere near victory there. It looked like we were holding on for dear life. And that game was absolutely not winnable. My team was not doing it for me. But here's the thing. You can still pull through with a victory there. If you just do what you need to do, and you look to carry, and you try to help your team do their jobs as well. So there are 2 things that I would look at here for myself. First of all, it'd be sleeps to not sleep Pharah nearly as much. I need to get better about that. I had a bad habit of that about 3 months ago. I need to get better about not wasting my sleeps against Pharahs. The problem is like, how many times do you actually play against Pharahs? To practice that, not a whole lot of times. It's still something that you really need to get used to doing. The second thing, I tell this to everyone, I'm going to tell it to myself. I need to do aim arena if I really want to see myself get to that next level. My aim is holding me back. I need to be hitting more shots if I really want to be hitting the next level. But here's the thing, guys. You don't need to have crazy aim. I showed it to you here today. You do not need to have crazy aim to carry games on Ana. You need to understand specific situations, how you should play in those situations, and just go from there. Obviously, aim as Ana is going to make things a lot easier for you, but it's not like it's going to make or break your experience on the character. On a character like Zen, it makes a much bigger difference. But yes, guys, if you do have any questions, please let me know. Please check us out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 PM EST is when we start our streams for the Unranked GM. We're probably going to go a little bit later this week because I am a lot more free. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments down below or join the Discord and ask me there. But until next time, guys, I got to peace out and pass out. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.